It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports, Pete.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at a stop. I thought I was fine, and then once I got home, I realized it's a lot worse than I thought. I ended up having a ruptured disc. You say you're not hurting, and then an hour later, you're saying you're in all this pain. I just felt like most people would think that I was lying. And that's when I decided to call Daniel Stark. I owe a lot to Daniel Stark. They really got me what I deserved.
The difference is stark.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level when we shut down to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
With Ease US makes studio quality voiceovers for your videos online in over 149 languages and dialects. Never been easier to create professional grade videos and voiceovers. Try it today at easeus.com. That's EASEUS.com. Ease US.
Hi, I'm Mitch, the co-founder of Cake, a sexual health and wellness company designed for today and designed for you. Yes, you. The entire product line can be found at hellocake.com, and it's also available in every Walmart near you.
Send money abroad in just a few steps with Remitly. Sign up with your email, enter an amount, choose how your loved ones receive the money, enter your recipient's information, select a payment method, hit send, and relax. Download the Remitly app today.
Tervis is all about staying hydrated. Each product is built to last and comes in endless designs to match your personality. Stay refreshed and express yourself with Tervis. Visit tervis.com today and find your perfect tumbler.
Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Whether it's sports, theater, or concert, for the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. Ticket Liquidator. The You Like Air 3, launched in 2023, ushers in a new era of sapphire ice cooling technology, offering nearly painless hair reduction in just 3 weeks. That's ULIKE.com. You Like.
And then Peter Sousa. I had a quick story to tell you about these guys. Peter Sousa.
From high atop Central Texas, it's the Pete Sousa Show, presented by the Rogue Media Network.
That's right, the Pete Sousa Show. Here we are. We are live in Central Texas, as I get redundant. Thanks to our public address guy for starting us off. I've yet to come up for a name for that young gentleman, but I will. Scotty Swingler is here on the Wheels of Steel, fresh off a big night, big concert night for Scotty. Hey, Scotty, do you and you can just talk. You don't have to. Do you?
No, you don't want to see me, Pete.
No, I'll see you. But when you go to a concert last night, like Yellow Card,
yeah,
are you sitting or standing?
Standing. Every time.
The whole concert?
I sat during one of the opening bands that I wasn't mega into. And most of the crowd was also sitting. But when the headliners come out, nah, you stand. You stand, and I don't just stand. Yeah. Yeah, I don't just stand. I stand, I jump, I sing, I dance, I pump my fist, I give them one of these as they're playing. Like, we go hard in the paint, man. Look, I got my tour tee on.
It's actually very cool.
Tour tee.
I love it. And you did say, I'm going to break your balls, but you said something earlier that I really liked. This band Yellow Card, they opened up with the Top Gun theme.
I was literally just about to cut 30 seconds because it's a 3-minute video I've got.
Yeah.
I want to give you 30 seconds later in the show if you'll let me.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they opened with the Top Gun, which, by the way, I'll tell you and the general public a quick story. When I was in high school, this guy that used to play electric guitar at my church taught me that you can fit the Top Gun theme on guitar into any worship song at church. So when I became the lead guitarist for our college ministries praise band for 4 years while I was at Baylor, my goal every Sunday was to sneak in the Top Gun theme into a song somewhere.
It's an amazing song.
And
and the extended version, like
And,
like you got to get the real one. Like
so, I know this isn't very reverent, but my buddies and I would sneak the Top Gun theme into a worship song every Sunday, and my buddies would try to spot it. And I would try to sneak it in so subtly and musically that they wouldn't notice.
Yeah.
So when Yellow Card comes out and opens with the theme last night, I absolutely freaked out. It was so good. By the way, look at our boy Bear the Truth. He knows Yellow Card, Ocean Avenue. That's their #1 song. They closed with that last night. It was incredible. Yeah.
So were you, boy, a lot to, as they say, unpack. So do you sing all the lyrics too?
Absolutely.
Are the people behind you standing up?
Everybody in the building was standing up, Pete.
I'm good then.
That's a rock and roll show, man.
Well, if there is like an understanding that we're all standing, that's cool. If you're the guy in front of me that's jumping around and I can't see because I like to sit, then I got an issue.
So here's what's nice about this venue. And this is not my favorite kind of venue to see a show at, because if you are the kind that likes to jump around and dance a little bit, it's not as fun. But this was at the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion in the Woodlands last night. And so what it is, you've got a pit down in front where you can buy standing room, right? And get kind of that true front row experience. Those tickets were too expensive for your boy. Then you've got like a bowl that's almost like stadium seating coming up.
Yeah.
And so that whole bowl was standing for the two headliners. This was a co-headlining tour, a Yellow Card and A Day to Remember. Everybody's standing for those bands. But then behind that, there's a lawn that you can buy really cheap tickets and go sit or stand in the grass. Pete, you could have sat on your blanket and with your hot cocoa, your old man attending concert vibe, and you could have sat back there and been just fine. But if you were down in the bowl like I was,
I like that.
Everybody was bouncing.
I like that opportunity and being able to do either or. Next time, God, if we could get somebody to film you while you're doing this, jumping around and play some of that back, I would.
Well, my brother is kind and he didn't take any videos of me. We just took videos of the band. So let me cut this up.
All right.
I'll show you later some
back to business here. The show, of course, presented by Slovakics. By the way, shout out to the Woodlands. That's where Christy Donaldson, my therapist, she's, I think, from the Woodlands. Premier Neurofeedback. Check them out. They do telehealth too. Boy, she's got her work cut out for her. Between her and my AA meetings, and to still come up short in life is like, it can be discouraging. Like I have like a team of people working on me. But hey, that's how we continue to pack stuff into the stream of life. We are presented by Slovakics, like I said. Daniel Stark Injury Lawyers, First National Bank of Central Texas. Dan Ingham agreed. He's not in mourning because of Mike Gundy. He agreed that he will join us tomorrow to make another pick. I think he's 0-3. So I don't know what the worst news is, Coach Gundy or his record so far. But he agreed because we got David Pollack coming on today. David Pollack is a dude who is an amazing personality, amazing football analyst. He doesn't even know it. And maybe he'll recognize I talked a little bit about this yesterday. I was on a crew where Rob Stone was the play-by-play guy. David was the analyst, and I was the stats guy for Rob Stone. This was before I got sober. So it was not exactly a squeaky clean season for your boy. We'll leave it at that. But David Pollack is one of those guys where, traveling and going on, because you travel with these guys, right? Just like I do now, calling games. He was just so cool, treats the GM like the janitor. Or treats the janitor like the GM. Sorry.
Man, he really treats those high flying guys like they're nothing.
No. Yeah. And he's just a great guy. He was always like looking out for people and got a great sense of humor. I don't really know how things or why things ended at ESPN, but we ain't covering that here because we don't care. David Pollack is just a house of fire when it comes to football and football analysis. And looking really real forward to talk to him, however you say that, really forward, or we're looking forward. I think we'll just leave it at that. Man, there's so much to get to today. Yesterday, we talked to Dave Hunziker, which was an amazing interview. Like, I loved talking to that dude. He's the voice of the Oklahoma State Cowboys. We talked a little bit about Mike Gundy. I didn't want to, I know what it's like to be on the team side. And when somebody's asking you, is Mike Gundy getting fired? I almost see that as kind of lazy. So I wanted to of course, we talked about that, but we nuanced it a little bit, hey, like, what's it like in the building? Why has Oklahoma State been struggling? And he did an amazing job illustrating to us. And I put that clip up online. You can find it on the Pete Sousa Show page. He kind of got into why Oklahoma State is struggling in the NIL world. And it was very clear. Chad Weidel, their athletic director, said yesterday, we need to find someone who can take us into this new era. Now, honestly, like, I don't know that Mike Gundy may get a head coaching job somewhere else where he does phenomenal. And, oh, by the way, they're not going to put him in a time machine to have him coach in yesteryear, right? So it's not like it's beyond Mike Gundy to adapt, right, and move forward. And this is like, I'm kind of like, zigzagging. I'm kind of zagging here. I know everybody says this had to be done, right? It's tough to find somebody that says, he should have stayed. Look, man, one calendar year ago, I think Oklahoma State was ranked like 13th in the country. They were 3 or 4-0, and they were getting ready to play Utah in what we thought was going to be the game of the year in the Big 12. Holy shit! How quickly does stuff change? And look, it's on tape, it's on paper, right? Losing like 9 straight conference games, and they've been getting their asses kicked, right? Unfortunately, they have been. And that loss to Tulsa, obviously the straw that broke the camel's back. First time in 50 years, Tulsa had beaten Oklahoma State. And it happened, and it's kind of like a dichotomy in a sense where your team is cratering, but that game on Friday night was sold out. And I've called a game at Oklahoma State. Like, there is like something there because it's always sold out. Like, unfortunately, I love Baylor. We know the situation there. Like, it's not always brimming to the top or spilling over. In Stillwater, it is. And a lot of that has to do with the success that Mike Gundy put together, right? Like, we filmed inside the 12 this morning. So I've got some like numbers off the top of my head. Oklahoma State in the past 10 years is ranked 16th in all of college football for wins, right? I think they have 80 wins in the past 10 years. I could be wrong. I think it's more than that, 86 or something. But they're ranked 16th of all the college football teams, right? I think they're right there with Oregon. Like, that's amazing. 5 New Year's 6 bowl games since 2010, 3-time coach of the year. I mean, all the 10-win seasons and everything. And Mike Gundy is still young. Like, it's not like he's somebody who is like his mind has started to atrophy. So I don't know. It would have been interesting if you could, like, why is Christy calling me now? Is something wrong with the broadcast? Ready? Let's see. Christy.
Are you on your show?
Yeah. Is there an issue?
No, Lex just has a really exciting to call. I wasn't sure when your show was.
Oh, so you're on the air right now. Do you want to share it with us?
Well, she's on.
One more time.
Lex, are you there? Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Lex, what's the news?
Hi, Pete. I wanted to let you know that I signed up, or I'm going to be signing up for the RIT Sports Broadcasting Network. And I also got the the contact information. So sorry, I also got the contact information from one of the video directors for the Red Wings, and she's going to be contacting me.
Wow, how about that? Huge news.
You'd want to know broadcasting.
The great Lex Paul. All right, I love you both. I'll be in touch later. Thank you guys. Bye. There's no reason she should call me during this show, so I knew it was a big deal. Now, to put her right on the air like that, that's my fiance, Christy, by the way, and her daughter, soon to be my daughter. Yeah, that's amazing because Lex is a journalist. All right, we'll talk about that later. I got to get back to Mike Gundy. That's an amazing story, though. I'm always on Lex to be like, you got to be a journalist, like, because she wants to do it. I'm like, you have to just, you're a freshman, go to these student stations, go to these newspapers, tell them you want to do this. So that's awesome. Okay, so Mike Gundy, right? He's had such great success there that like he's not an old guy. That's what I was saying. Let's see how old he is. Actually, do you know off the top of your head, Scotty?
He should be 58 because we just celebrated the 18th anniversary of.
Oh no, I'm 40.
I'm 40 speech.
All right, so he's 58, right? I mean, we talked about Bruce Pearl retiring yesterday. You're exactly right, 58. You know, and Bruce Pearl just 65. So like he's young. I mean, Mike Gundy has a lot of coaching left, right? It's his coaching career is not over. Certainly not if he wants it to be. Like, it's just amazing how hyperbolic we are and how reactive we are and how on board everybody is with letting this legendary coach go after a calendar year of really bad football. Like there's what
I will say, not to just interrupt.
No, please.
And dispute what you just said. You said everybody's on board. I saw a lot of, and maybe X is just showing me what I want to see, the algorithm. I saw a lot of folks a little frustrated, not necessarily because he was fired, but because it happened on a Tuesday after like week 4. I saw a lot of Oklahoma State fans kind of grumbling about the way.
I thought that sucked.
You trotted him out, made him do a Monday press conference, talk about Baylor coming up, issues to address, and then you fired him the next day. And I know that could have gone a ton of different ways that made that happen, but it was a bad look.
I agree. Thank you, Scotty. It was a crappy look. And look, nobody knew. Obviously, Dave Hunziker, who's dialed in that building, would not have agreed to come on our show yesterday if he knew that Mike Gundy was going to be fired, moments after he wrapped. Literally, it was like 5 minutes after. So I think like it's kind of crazy. Like you could have allowed him a little bit of grace to either finish the season, and who knows, maybe they felt like if you let him finish the season, he does that old Wayne Fonts thing where he ends up winning like 6 games in a row at the end, or gosh, it didn't seem like it was headed that direction. But then you got to find a way to keep him again, because at the end of last year, I mean, dude, he didn't have any assistants return. So that's crazy. You've got upwards of 60 new players. You've got all new assistants. And that is a recipe for losing football games, certainly for going 1-2. So I would have liked to have seen him get the opportunity to finish out the season. I honestly would have liked to have seen him get the opportunity to finish like his career at Oklahoma State. Because I think I do believe like there's an opportunity to turn it around. Now, look, everybody gets fired in life. I mean, like in this industry. I mean, there are very few. I mean, you can count them on a few hands, right? Like Nick Saban's. Like Bear Bryant was pushed out, right? Like Bill Snyder is another one, right? Like he kind of rode off into the sunset. But it is so rare. And Mike Gundy is another casualty, not only of the passion of college football fans and the impatience of college football fans, but I believe now the pressure cooker is just tighter than ever. And we're going to talk to David Pollack about that coming up. I want to switch, and Scotty, we can talk more about this. I don't need a fireworks display from you right now because I know you're going to get feisty. I watched Cam yesterday. Cam Stewart, our buddy, right? This is, I don't know if this is aimed at me or what, this headline. So Cam goes on Locked On Baylor, and it's like you can set your goddamn calendar to it. Baylor, a little bit of a rocky start, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear it. Dude, I said this 6 months ago, that those first 4 games, 2-2, might not be bad. And particularly when you look at the rest of Baylor's schedule, I think it is so foolish right now to call for Dave Aranda's job. Now, they suck at home in big games, and that's like, you got to figure that out. Like, you can't have, and I get it. Like, even as, look, man, I am slated to a little bit of breaking news that nobody's going to break. I'm going to call Baylor's game against Kansas State for ESPN. Not this week coming up, but the one after that, right? And I will not be cheering for Baylor. I will be an impartial, right down the middle ESPN play-by-play guy. But like, look, I know a lot of people around the program. I'm a human being. I tend to hope those people do well and experience success. And I want people around Baylor and the Waco community that I spent the majority of my time in to feel good about themselves. I want that. So I pull for Dave Aranda to do well, and I believe in him and his mission. He's a tough guy to get behind because of how understated he is. And he's an easy guy to bail on because of how understated he is. And I do understand the frustration, but it's week 4 and you've got a couple games. I'll do it one more time, right? Scotty can probably do it off the top of his head. So Baylor has Oklahoma State coming up this week, Kansas State. Who's after that?
Bye.
And
then TCU.
So TCU. So you should be 4-2 going into TCU. And right there, that is it right there. That is the money shot, right? The TCU game. The opportunity for Baylor is there to turn things around quickly. Look, man, Arizona State is about to head into a gauntlet. Their next 5 games, they have TCU on Friday. Then I think it's Houston, Texas Tech, Iowa State, and another Big 12 juggernaut. And so, like, Arizona State beat Baylor, right, head-to-head. But we could be having a much different conversation about both of these teams coming up shortly. Is Pollack's here? All right. So we'll take a quick break, and let's do one of those breaks where we cut it in half because we don't want to keep the great David Pollack hanging around waiting. But I got a lot of stuff I want to bounce off my man, David Pollack. It's an absolute treat to have him with us today. So the Pete Sousa Show presented by Slovacics, back after this short break with the great David Pollack. Stay with us. Football is back, and Underdog is the best place to make picks and win money all season long. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Get your picks right and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. You can play with as little as $1. Download the app today and sign up with promo code SOUSA to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code SOUSA. That's SOUSA. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog. Make picks. Win money.
Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play-and-get-terms_DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Won't get quit.
Bubble allows you to make it real and for it to actually work. So I feel like Bubble bridges that gap and being able to give people the opportunity to make their ideas come to life really quickly too. I love that I can sit back.
And I want you to be a part of this.
I think it should be built and have the concept for it.
Bubble turns ideas into fully scalable apps. Try Bubble today.
All right, we're about to bring in the great David Pollack. David, are you with us? Everybody knows David. So David, by the way, Scotty, can you join us real quick? I'm just trying to figure out who was responsible for the end of that ad read that put every ad read you see on local television before the late night news that the old folks have to watch. That put that to shame, dude. Whose idea? That's the first time that's ever run. Whose idea was that?
Which one?
Which one?
But are we talking about like oh, that was me.
That was you. That was great, man. That was great. I mean,
that was like the Micro Machine Man back in the day, man. That's what that was.
All you got to do now is figure out what his 40 is, right? Yeah. Must be fast. All right, David Pollack, man. David, we go way back. I was a stats guy for Stone back in the day, and I was saying
long time ago.
You were the coolest guy ever. I had my season cut short. I got sober after that. Totally changed my life. So here I am with you now, sharing stories about college football. And you have always been one of my favorite, most inspirational dudes. And the street cred starts at Georgia. It goes to Cincy. It goes on to ESPN and everything you've endured in your life. So, man, it is a treasure to have you here, man.
Oh, thank you for having me on, brother. It's that's congratulations on getting sober, man. That is fantastic. And so I'm glad to be on the show, brother.
Good to have you. We got to start with Mike Gundy, right?
Yeah.
We have to, because before you came on, I understand the impatience with the Oklahoma State fan base, and maybe they weren't set up to win in this recent or this new era. You know, yesterday, Chad Weiberg, their AD, says we got to find somebody to take us into this new era. What are your thoughts on Mike Gundy getting let go a calendar year after, you know, they're ranked in the top 15 in the country, getting ready to play Utah last year? This time they're 3-0, and nobody's thinking about this. And here we are, dude. Like, I got to get your thoughts.
Welcome to college football, right? Like, life comes at you fast. And so I think that it's interesting because of what Mike Gundy's done. Like, he hasn't just been successful. Like, he's got the most wins in Big 12 history next to Bob Stoops. Like, he did it at Oklahoma State that didn't do a lot of winning. He's been a part of 10 of the 11 10-win seasons. Like, Gundy was in the backfield with Thurman Thomas and Barry Sanders, and he was the quarterback, right? Like, I just think he's one of their own. And here's the thing. Here's the reason probably he's let go. There's just so much with Mike. Now, I love it personally. I think he's funny. I think he's got some great sarcasm. I think he's got great combativeness that's really funny, and it's great for our job. Like, I also love the petty, Pete. Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, I love people that take shots. I mean, the mullet. Like, I'm a man. Justin Bieber. Like, I can go back. I can pull so many things from. He put on a wrestling singlet. Like, he went shirtless. Like, I can think of so many moments of Mike Gundy. That's what he's brought to Oklahoma State. Like, relevance, great coaching, one of their own. I know he butted head with T. Boone Pickens, but he also got him to give a bunch of money. Like, when Mike got hired, you know, back in 2005, like, it started the revival of what they are. So I think he built up enough credibility to me to say, like, I'm going to ride with this guy. But football's changing. NIL has changed the world, the transfer portal, and it's a tough job. And I would say this. Most of the coaches I talk to around the country say the last 4 years have aged them 25 years. And it's why a lot of them have dipped out and went to the NFL, because they're like, this sucks. The goalpost moving, new rules, all this stuff that comes in. So it's a new sport. And obviously, you know, this past year for Gundy, the past year and a half, like not winning a Big 12 game and then getting beat by Tulsa and company to start the season, not good.
Do you think he should have gotten a shot to kind of finish out at least this season? And do you think if he was given that shot, there was a fear that he might turn it around and they would have to deal with another season of, we got to adjust his salary and kick it down the road again?
Well, and they keep taking a pay cut from him. They've been doing that pretty consistently. But, like, here's the thing, man. This is a guy that's one of your own. He played for your university. He's brought you the best of times. Me personally, I'm not kicking him out the door in the middle of the season. Like, I wouldn't. You're free to do whatever you want. But I think if I'm an Oklahoma State fan, like I'm remembering the good of what he did. Like, I'm remembering all of the wins, the competitiveness, you know, the high-flying offenses. And he was like a receiver spot, and then it turned into a little bit of a quarterback spot, and then all of a sudden it's a running back spot. But I always marveled too, man. Like, he always found really good offensive coaches from nowhere, from obscurity, and then somebody takes them, and then somebody takes them, and then somebody takes them. Like, he kept giving them away to other people. But I just hope he gets remembered as a really good football coach. He's got some controversial quotes and shirts he wore and all that stuff, man. But Oklahoma State, I hope they give him their flowers. He's a Hall of Fame coach, one of the best to ever do it, and they were lucky to have him, man.
And you can't debate. Hey, he was true to who he was with the T-shirts and all, like you said, the petty. That's who he was, and that's pretty cool. Do you think, last question on him, if you're an AD somewhere at a Power 4 conference, is this a guy where you're like, hey, I'm taking a shot on him?
Yeah, I don't know. What if Mike did what some of these coaches that you've seen do, like Chip Kelly does? Like, just go coach offense. Like, just go coach ball. Like, get back to the ball part of it where you don't have to do the rosters. You don't have to do all the player movement, manage all of the stuff. Gus Malzahn, I had him on my show a couple weeks ago, and he was like, can I tell you how much fun I'm having? He was like, this is amazing to go to a sideline and go, hey, here's the iPad. Like, I get to watch. I get to show my quarterback, like, what to expect, what I'm going to call next. Like, this is awesome. I'm having, a lot of fun. You saw Chip Kelly do it. Like, I think you could – I would love to see that for Gundy. Go get the love back, man. Go do it at a great place that you can go win at a high level, and maybe even a place where you can beat Oklahoma, because that was always the biggest thing that he – right? That was the thorn in his side. I think he was like 4-15 versus Oklahoma. Like, something like that. And that – but he did beat him in the last matchup. Right before they went to the SEC. Right? Yeah. He won the last one, baby.
All right, we're talking with David Pollack. David, how about Texas Tech? It's like a lightning rod right now, right, for folks around college football. Some people say the Blue Bloods are upset because here they are just jumping right into the fray. Man, I can tell you this, from watching them play Saturday against Utah, for a team that we've always talked about with this high-flying offense, that defense gets after it, and it felt like there was a 12th dude on the field. Like, What are your thoughts on Texas Tech, their evolution as a program, and where they can go this year?
Man, I love the forward thinking. Like they like Cody Campbell obviously is a big part of this. He's their big booster. But like I remember he had a quote from last year. They're like, "You need to go fix this," and he was like, "We will." Like, we'll go fix it. Like, we're going to fix it quickly. And so going into the transfer portal and addressing the defensive line, they didn't go get guys. They got guys everybody wanted. Like, they got guys that were visiting Texas and Oregon and all the spots that are spending all the money. Like, so they got the right mix up front. Now, we're going to see how it plays out the rest of the season, but they just kicked the crap out of Utah up front. That's a tough task to do. Utah's been a bully in this league. Like, they like last year aside, they've always been physical. They've always been tough. So that was fun to see. And when I see McGuire, I love his personality. I love his background. I love who he is. And then I'm interested to watch now Will Hammond, because my gosh, that young man comes in and he's like, ball, give me the ball. Like, let me show you how to do this. Like, no blink, throwing the ball over the middle on third down. He was 13 of 16, had a couple drops, ran the ball for 8 for 61. He looked like a stud, man. Big, strong. So he came in. So you got the defense and the rebuild. When he came into the offense, I'm like, okay, they can take shots now. Then it got where they ran the football and it opened things up. He could run the football and break tackles because of his thickness and his speed. So Texas Tech is the clear front runner in the Big 12 right now with what they did to Utah. Some great games coming up where we're going to decide, more and more. But you got to be impressed with the vision that they had. They said, we're going into the transfer portal. We're pushing our chips all in, and we're going to go do it this way. They did it that way, and so far, ROI is pretty daggum good.
Yeah, real good. I saw Coach McGuire on his show, his weekly show this week. He said, Blanchard, their general manager. He said, don't worry. He said, not so fast, by the way, everybody else in the country. Blanchard's got Will Hammond on a 2-year contract. So I don't know what that means in college football, but he said, don't worry about it. We know what people are thinking right now.
Hey, he was highly recruited by everybody. Like he was highly recruited by all the big boys and chose Texas Tech. And listen, that's the future of this sport. The future of this sport is 2-year contracts. If we want coaches to be healthy and live longer lives and be in our game more, like stopping, listen, we've already seen that the transfer portal window is 1. Now that's done, which is fantastic because you won't have as much, I just finished spring. I got to build my roster again because 7 guys left. So now it kind of helps settle things down a little bit. But then the contract component will come into this as well. The penalties for transferring more than once are going to come into this. So our sport's moving in the right direction to be healthier and to get to show the fans, man, like we understand. We want to make this more what it's accustomed to. You can go buy kids' jerseys because hopefully we'll have them for 2 or 3 years, not for one season and then they're gone.
You know, you evolved at Georgia, right, under Mark Richt and became a superstar player. You're a college football Hall of Famer because of that, right? If your career wasn't cut short by the injury, we might be talking about the NFL Hall of Fame one day. You know what it's like to evolve in one system, right, playing under one coaching group. For a coach like Joey McGuire, like how much of an impact can he have on a roster that's put together rather quickly? Because clearly those guys went into enemy territory, right? And like they put it on Utah. And that's not, you can't just throw a bunch of guys out on the field and expect that to happen, especially so early in the season in a hostile environment. Like what kind of impact is he having on that collection of studs?
Well, and with a new OC, with a new DC, so a lot of new. Like, it wasn't just, the players. That was my big concern is, like, how fast do they learn each other? But you got to credit Joey McGuire. Like, his personality, like, he is so just laid back, and he's chill, and he understands what's best for kids. I didn't say he's not going to yell at people. That's not what I said. But he's just got a good demeanor to be very relatable. Coached high school football for such a long time, understands kids, and that's the most important part. So to make it gel, to make it work, now you're starting quarterback who missed a bunch of spring, by the way, too, because of the shoulder. And so, like, Hammond got a bunch of reps, and now you plug that in. Like, there's a lot of moving parts, and there's a lot of people, there's a lot of mouths to feed, and a lot of people to keep happy. So it shows you what kind of job he's done. And it wasn't like this was a blowout to start. Like, this was a close game in the third quarter. They made a bunch of mistakes, Texas Tech did, and now all of a sudden they got their backup quarterback in the game, and that could easily go this way, and it went that way. So it kind of shows you a little bit of what Texas Tech's made of, and so far, obviously, the returns have been great.
Dropping into the Big 12 a little more, you look at the quarterbacks around the country. A lot of them are in the Big 12. Is there a particular quarterback? Like, I'm calling Baylor and Kansas State next week for ESPN, and I cannot wait to see Sawyer Robertson. We expected Avery Johnson to be a little bit more ahead of schedule, but it just hasn't happened. When you look at the Big 12 and that quarterback group, who jumps out at you?
Golly, man. I mean, you got Levitt, who we all talked about, who's not been elite this year. It's not like we kind of expected Levitt to go from really, really good to nuclear. And you see the competitiveness, you see the toughness, the ability to run the football, the ability to throw. So he hasn't taken that next step. And Arizona State hasn't either. Like, they've been very, kind of up and down. But, man, this conference is stupid. Like, listen, I love Jalen Daniels. Like, Jalen Daniels is one of the best players in college football. Now, he scares the absolute bejesus out of me because he's not the biggest dude in the world, but he's going to hang in there. He's going to take shots. He's going to scramble. But you talk about an offense that, like, knows who they are. Leipold always has great, whether Colton Necky leaves and go to Penn State or not. Like, he knows how to play the, hey, look over here, slap you upside the head on this side, right? Like, he does such a good job. And then tempo and working. So Jalen Daniels is good. Dan Pierre had a rough game. But Noah Fafita's a baller. Like, I mean, Josh Hoover's tearing it up with TCU. McAllister just caught another touchdown pass. Good Lord, last week he was on fire. But, I mean, you mentioned Avery Johnson, and it's just, it goes on. And Morton and Hammond now. And Wigman's done great at Houston. Like, he's done a great job. And even Sorsby's had moments where you love what you see. And Salter, welcome back. And Jackson and Flores. Like, it's such a great developmental league at quarterback always. Every single year, year after year, you always get good play. And that's why anybody wins on any given day. And this league, to me, this is what we expected it to be. It's the most competitive league week in and week out, and it's the best league to watch. Like, if you're telling me you want to watch national champions all the time, like, sure, you want to watch some blowouts, have at it. But every game is awesome. Like, that's such a credit to the depth of the league.
Talking with David Pollack, analyst, and See Ball, Get Ball is the podcast. And, of course, the Won't Quit Kid. There it is right there. That's the book right there. Pretty awesome stuff. DP, I need you to straighten me out on something, dude. Arch Manning, like I can't really make heads or tails of it. Where do you come down on all this? Like, can he meet the hype? Was there too much hype? Like, help me drill down on this and just tell me what you think about this situation that has become hyperbolic around college football.
I mean, there was definitely too much hype. I mean, let's be honest. Like, you got people talking about generational talent before the season and best quarterback you'll ever see. And a lot of those people are the same people that always say the things that try to get it to blow up and get people to look at whatever that they're doing. But I would say disappointed so far in what he's done. Now, that doesn't mean it's over, right? Like, now last week, get the heck out of here with that, Pete. I'm not here for this, like, fry the kid for celebrating. Like, I'm going to celebrate too. I want my kids to celebrate. Like, shut up. I'm not here for that. Like, I don't care about that. But I think the biggest thing is, like, knowing what to do with your eyes. And when you watch Arch, like, there's a lot of eyes in the wrong spot. Now I'm trying to fix it, go sidearm. Instead of, like, you think about Peyton back in the day, like shuffle feet, bang, 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 bang. Like, I'm in a good spot to always throw the football. Like, he's got to clean some of that up. I've been disappointed in Texas as a whole on offense. Like, you don't see a ton of guys. You didn't see a ton of guys winning against Ohio State. Now, it was early, but, like, last year you saw a ton of guys that won with Matthew Golden and the tight end, et cetera, et cetera. So I think the offense is still figuring it out. I'm shocked because I think Sark's a top 5 play caller in all of college football, and I thought he would dial it up and get them in position to be successful while Arch develops. But they're getting it together a little bit. Obviously haven't played elite competition, but he's got a long way to go, man, to be a great quarterback and to be, one of these guys that were hyped before the season.
Who's the best team in college football right now?
Man, it's a tough question to answer, but you asked the question, so I'm going to answer it. Give me Miami. Like,
wow.
Boo. Like, if you watch the lines of scrimmage where the game is often won or lost, Miami's got a bunch of bad mother shut yo mouse. Like, they are physical. They like to hit you in the mouth over and over again. Like, you see so many defensive lines that twist and stunt all over the place. Miami ain't got to do that. You know why? Because my one guy is better than your guy. Like, consistently, they get you in passing situations, shut the door, 3 and 4. Bain and Mesidor coming off the edge, you lose. Like, it's a fun unit to watch. Carson Beck being protected, it is huge. Like, the dudes, you want to play zone against Carson Beck, he knows the answer, the ball's coming out. You can't get to him. You want to play man, Tony and company are doing a lot of winning now. So, like, I've just been super impressed. And listen, I could name a bunch of teams, but I've been impressed with Miami taking care of Notre Dame, beating a good USF team, beating Florida, like mauling USF, mauling Florida with physicality. Like, Cristobal's got his best team.
All right, David Pollack. He's on the Mount Rushmore of football analysts for a reason. One more question for you. Shifting gears. When I was David Pollack adjacent back in the day, working on that football crew, you were somebody who always kind of had, like, people say, that person has what I want. You had that. And part of that was you were such a family guy. Your wife was at the centerpiece of just about everything you did or talked about. Obviously, that's been a tough situation now for you. People, and you've been public about it, so that's why I got the cojones to ask right now. How is she doing, and how are you managing this adversity? Because you come out and you talk to me, and the sunlight of the spirit is coming through you. But it's not that easy, I would imagine. So, like, how are things going, and how are you managing that?
No, I appreciate you asking. And, we have been my wife got diagnosed with brain cancer about 7 or 8 months ago. She's had a couple of surgeries, but, man, like, my kids have always looked at me, Pete, as a superhero because of what I did. And it's been so cool because now they look at their mom like a superhero. And she's got a scar from ear to ear where they cut her open, and it's been very successful. But my baby doll shows up and chooses faith over fear. Like, not one time has she cried, not one time has she got upset. But you talk about, like, learning a lot as a family. Like, we've talked about with our kids all the time, like, how do we give them hard? How do they face hard? And it's not always easy to do with what we have and where we live. And so we've gotten a lot of that, man. Like, it's been difficult. It's been tough. But it's been really, really fun, and we're so thankful to have such a great community, such a great God that meets us where we're at and gives us what we need. But the Pollacks have been learning a lot, man. How to struggle well, how to handle hard. I'm just way less concerned, Pete, about the older I get. Like, I'm way less concerned about what happens to me. I'm way more concerned about my response. Like, and that's what she's chosen to do, man. She's chosen happiness. She's chosen joy, like to enjoy everything. So she's fighting the fight, man. And she does it with a smile on her face, and her ministry has grown in the cancer space. And she's continuing to impress us and to put a smile on her face every day. And it's been a fun challenge. Like, and we're learning about ourselves just like everybody else, man. When you go through those tough seasons, like, what are you made of, right? Like, how are you going to respond? So it's been a joy to be a part of it, and I'm proud of her and how she handles everything.
Dude, a joy to reconnect with you today and to have you on here, man. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you and all you're doing out there and messages like that, David Pollack. You're one of the best.
Appreciate you, my man. Thanks. Good to see you again.
All right, DP, take it easy. That was David Pollack, and again, for my money, probably one of, if not the best football analyst in the country. And there's a lot more to that guy than X's and O's and charisma in football. And we got a chance to hear a little bit of it on the tail end there. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk with Scotty Swingler about Dave Aranda. We're going to do it real quick. And then we gotta bust out of here at 11:30 because we're taping an interview with Jake Hatch. Okay, the Pete Sousa Show. Back after this.
It doesn't matter if your investment budget is small or big. All you need is Benzinga Pro and its powerful news alerts, price tracking, and portfolio monitoring. Subscribe now, and we'll skyrocket your portfolio today.
Experience with the Bosley MD hair regrowth kit was amazing. It was easy to use. It let me take off my hat. I could go in public and have my picture taken and feel normal again.
BosleyMD.com.
Join us at golfpartnerusa.com and discover why we're the trusted choice for golf lovers worldwide. That's GOLFPARTNERUSA.com. Golf Partner. Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internix. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. That's INTERNXT.com today.
Apollo Neuro is a new kind of wearable that helps your body recover from stress, that helps you calm down and feel better. You sleep better, and you can get back to being yourself. Learn more at apolloneuro.com.
Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. NordVPN.com. That's NORDVPN.com.
Our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Dive into adventure with Scuba.com, your ultimate destination for top-tier scuba and snorkeling gear. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, trust Scuba.com for the best in diving equipment and expert guidance. Explore now at Scuba.com. That's SCUBA.com. Scuba.com. At Fullwell.
Thanks, dude.
Come on, Pete.
That's Swingler. So that's Swingler's footage from last night.
Listen, you don't have to know a single yellow card song.
I mean, we do a
They
home
came
run.
out and did the Top Gun theme.
We do a home run interview with David Pollack, and we followed up with the yellow card show open. But that was wonderful, by the way. That was wonderful. And that was Scotty was at yellow card last night. And look at him. He's delighted. He's beaming. By the way, I'm beaming because the amazing Chris Visser just sent us a note. He said, David just texted me and said, thanks, Pete is amazing, all caps, anytime. And then Chris urged me to share that on air. He said, feel free to read this on air. Yeah, we'll get him back. And Chris, thank you so much. Amazing job. And David, amazing job. I think Scotty was actually paying attention during that one, which is pretty cool.
I wanted to ask
Liz
him.
is in here. She actually laughed a couple times at what he said.
Pete,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask him. I'll ask him next time we have him. I want to know how he's still doing the college football 26 game, even though the rest of those guys are still ESPN guys. I want to ask him the story.
Oh, why didn't we ask him?
Well, y'all are having such a great conversation. I wasn't going to interrupt.
Judas
Next,
Priest.
let's have him back. I want to know how he got that phone call from EA of like, hey, we want you to be an analyst on the video.
As an ESPN employee, it's because he's one of the best.
Well, I know that.
Yeah.
I think that, but
Yeah.
I want to know how, like, it's just fascinating. All the guys that it's still all the ESPN guys, Reese and Herb Street.
Yeah. It
And
is
then
cool.
David Pollack is still in the game, which
Yeah, it is.
I love.
I think that speaks volumes.
It does.
Right. I mean, to the kind of guy he is. All right. I can't get, hold on. I'm going to send you Jake Hatch's contact. Okay. Cause I'm struggling here getting this over to him.
Okay.
Something with my phone. Stay with us, folks, because we're going to have a big chat in 1 second.
I can play more yellow card if you
No. And that's not to say yellow card isn't awesome, but that's for your show. Okay. And just tell him I'm 35 if you can. When before we talk to David, I was mentioning how Cam Stewart, the little shit stirrer he is, and that's what he is. He needs some numbers and content. So he does his Locked On Baylor. Cam is so talented, and I'm a huge fan. And I do say he's compelling. But last night, I was actually doing work at my place, and I'm getting ready for today, and we filmed Inside the 12. But there's Cam talking about Dave Aranda and the possibility that Baylor might move on from him. It's like, guys, the team is 2-2. They've lost to an Auburn team that literally, if they'd beaten Oklahoma, they could be ranked in the top 10. And they almost beat them. And an Arizona State team who, actually, I'm not sure about them. I'm not going to lie. I think they kind of suck. But so that's a bad loss. But you could say, hey, it's a college football playoff team from last year. I don't think Arizona State is anywhere near the team they were last year because no Cam Scatterbo. But I think it's very premature. And it's unfortunate that you can set your watch to it, that in September, if Baylor's struggling, people are going to talk about firing Dave Aranda. Now, this is not a Mike Gundy situation. This team finished piping hot last year, and their schedule sets up now for them to start rolling again, right? Really start rolling again. Scotty mentioned, Oklahoma State and Kansas State. If you lose either of those two games, I will start to listen to guys like Cam when they start banging the drum, because that'll just be kind of weird and unacceptable. If they lose to Kansas State, whatever, I stick by what I said, because I don't want to jump on this hyperbolic crazy train that Cam likes to head out of the station once a year around this time. Matt Mosley jumps in, and so does Scotty. Now, Scotty, I'll let you fend for yourself because you're here. But do you honestly? I know you get pissed because you're so passionate, and you are a very smart fan. But I want to ask you, the super fan, right? Don't you think it's a little premature to, on September 22nd, start talking about, because that's when people started, to start talking about firing Dave Aranda again?
Pete, you said something really insightful earlier. You said this isn't a Mike Gundy situation. You're absolutely correct. Dave Aranda has not earned extended grace at Baylor. He's not. And it's telling that if you take away, and I know it counts. That's why he's still here this season, by the way. The reason he's still here is because of what happened in 2021. If you take away 2021, he has one winning season.
Dude,
last year.
I really get discouraged when people do that. If you take away, you can't take it away. It really happens.
So we've talked about this. trajectory matters. So Art Briles, prior to all the horrible stuff that happened, trajectory was up. The dip was an 8-5 season in 2012. Okay. That was the worst. From 2011 to 2015, that was the worst season on the field, was 8-5. The Matt Rule arc was straight up, right? 1 win, 6 wins, 10 wins. Boom, boom, boom. There's a trajectory. By the way, that trajectory resolved in 2021. Thank you, Matt Rule.
No, I hate that.
It's just true.
No, it's not. Go ahead.
The Dave Aranda trajectory, losing season. Oh my God, we won the Big 12. Straight down.
The losing season was COVID. So
straight down. Yeah. Thank God for Jake Spavital saving our butts.
It's never Dave. So anytime something positive happens, it's got nothing to do with him.
Do you know what Baylor's scoring defense ranks over the past 4 seasons combined in the country? 106th. Don't talk to me about what Dave Aranda's doing, Mr. Defensive Mastermind. It's not paying off on the field. It's not. The only reason Baylor won those games last year was Sawyer Robertson and Jake Spavital. Period.
I could be a complete dick right now and say to every Baylor fan, stop talking to me about Art Briles, because it was a goddamn jailbreak. And clearly something was happening there that should – collection of talent, amazing, massive. But, like, how was that even existing on a campus like Baylor? I don't know. And eventually it was too much, right? I mean, seriously, Scotty, they kind of wore out their welcome. Like, that's part of college football, right? You can't have situations like that. That's on Art's watch. I think Art is an amazing coach, and I'm not saying he's a bad guy.
Where am I defending
what
happened at Baylor?
You're not, and I don't want to paint you in that corner.
Two coaches prior to Dave Aranda proved definitively that you can recruit to Baylor and win championships at Baylor. Listen, if Matt Rule never wins more than 7 games at Baylor, maybe I'm saying, yeah, you're right, Art Briles wasn't an anomaly. But Matt Rule immediately did it again with his guys. And then his guys won the championship in 2021.
Okay, I'll tell you, I'll say this to you. You bring up a lot of good points. See, I argue like a normal person. Okay, you bring up a lot of very good points. No,
it has been proven
that's
twice.
That's a bullshit way to try to win an argument.
It has been proven twice. 2 different head coaches have come in and built a championship program at Baylor. Aranda has built where 8-5 is our best year.
All your points are valid. My only issue with this type of talk 4 games into the season is like, there's a lot of football left, and it's not like they're digging out of an 0-4 hole, dude. They're 2-2.
But dude, you just said it. Arizona State kind of sucks.
We don't know that. That's my guess.
You just said it out loud.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
you can't take back your words when it
helps
my argument.
That can't be my
Arizona State is not good. Baylor was the
I don't think they're that good. I don't think they're that good.
I don't think they're that good in terms of talent.
I don't think they're that good.
Baylor is the better football team. Why did they lose? Coaching. You didn't have them freaking ready to play. This happens over and over and over. This is year 4 of this, Pete. Baylor's team is not ready to play in August, and that is directly on the head coaches. I don't care how you play in November if you're not ready to play in freaking August on national television. If you're not excited for a blackout game, you sold out your stadium against Auburn and crapped the bed. I'm out, dude.
You're in.
You're in. I'm with Cam.
I don't think you should be, because we're 4 games in, and the conversation will be different.
I'd rather have Mike Gundy.
Well, David Pollack wouldn't. Okay, one more thing. This is another one. Hold on. This speaks to your argument. This is kind of hilariously funny, but I put up a YouTube short on this. Do you know that it all comes back full circle. Mike Gundy being a great man, right? Literally, a great man may have won Baylor that Big 12 title. And let me tell you why. So that game, if you remember,
Dave Aranda's a great man too, for the rest.
I know. But hold on. This is Mike Gundy being a great man. Just let me tell a story.
All right.
So Mike Gundy, Jalen Warren, if you remember, their number 1 back, who was having an amazing career in the NFL with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was hobbled going into that game, but could have played. Like, if he got a couple shots, right? Like, that guy's out there playing, like busting his ass, probably playing 100%. Feeling 100%, but doing damage to his body, right? Because he doesn't even feel his leg, okay? Mike Gundy would have none of it, okay? He doesn't play the game. So instead of Jalen Warren extending for that cone, right? It's the 3rd string tailback, which is somebody who's the safety from Baylor?
McVay.
McVay tracked him down and was able. So think about that. If Mike, think about that, then your boy Aranda's long gone. So, maybe
I just
isn't that interesting though? A sliding doors deal.
Yeah. I love Coach Gundy and I love Coach Aranda.
I know,
but I know I just got really heated.
It's awesome. This is sports. We're fanatics. It's fun. We're allowed to disagree.
I'm tired of people acting like we should be satisfied at Baylor with 7 and 8 wins every year.
Okay.
Because there was a decade where championship conversation was every season regularly. And so I don't like the attitude of, oh, well, we're Baylor. You can't expect us to compete for championships. No, dude. We're going to talk to Jay Catch for tomorrow's episode. BYU is expecting a championship. Like, you can't be satisfied with 8. Man, they won 6 games in a row last year. Yeah, but they were in a hole because they were poorly coached. Okay, so that's how I feel. And you're right. Baylor could go undefeated the rest of the way.
And I'm not saying that. Last year I said it. And by the way, I was basically right.
There is no evidence on the field this season that they're going to win more than 6 games this year.
Oh, for Christ's sakes.
Where's the on-field
evidence? Did you watch the SMU game?
Of course I did. We'd gotten a hole early because we weren't prepared to play football.
All right.
We had to come back in that game. Did you see what TCU did to SMU?
It was pretty bad.
We're toast, bro. We're toast. We are toast.
I can't say we.
We're gonna smoke. We're gonna smoke Oklahoma State and Stillwater. We're gonna beat a bad Kansas State team at home. Get an overinflated false sense of confidence. But you know what else Dave Aranda's horrible at? Coming off a bye, and we have to go to Fort Worth against a very good quarterback and a very good TCU team, and that is gonna be apocalypse now for Baylor. It's gonna be bad, bro.
No way.
Calling my shot.
No way.
First
of all, they're not going to go into that game any more than a 7-point underdog. Okay, so
I will
apocalypse
take TCU.
now.
I will take
pause.
TCU with that line. I will take TCU with
all right, we'll talk about this. Is great. Scotty, you're the best.
I could do this for
the guy's a true talent. The Pete Sousa Show, we're going to wrap up right now. We're presented by Slovakics. Make sure you go watch Inside the 12. We taped it this morning. It's on all your local Big 12 affiliates. You can see it on True TV, HBO Max, and on the Big 12's YouTube page. Thank you to David Pollack. That was a great talk today. Football, life, the whole deal. We will see you tomorrow. We will be talking with Jay Catch. I haven't talked to this guy in a long time, and I got to find out what's going on in BYU. They got a huge game this Saturday. A lot of eyeballs. ESPN, Colorado, BYU in the nightcap. We'll be talking about that tomorrow. Right now, we're talking about goodbye.
It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning. So we love Extraco.
Show. Sports.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at 70 miles an hour. I was injured, had a concussion. The insurance company, they delayed. They were playing games from the initial conversation. They weren't going to help me. The biggest thing I learned through this is that you can't go through this alone. I called Daniel Stark. They were going to help me and everything was going to be all right. Daniel Stark got me 10 times the insurance company offered.
The difference is stark.
Show. Sports.
Our professionals are not only experts in managing urgent concerns, but also in providing top-notch preventative health care. We're proud to connect pet owners to a vast network of licensed veterinary professionals, ready to address any immediate concerns. Book your first appointment today.
Nalgene Outdoor has been your trusted companion, fueling adventures and helping protect the planet. We're committed to reducing waste, improving access to clean water, and providing simple, safe, and sustainable products for you and your family. NALGENE.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.